Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time, that special time, where two of the best-looking men in the world get up on stage and say funny things to you. No pressure, but the questions better be amazing. Are you guys ready? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Are you guys ready? Please welcome Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki.
Who's first time?
Hot crap.
I hear, yes.
There we go.
Let there be light?
No.
I think,
Are you expecting someone?
funny you should ask. As a matter of fact, welcome. I'm just kidding. No. I'll get it out of the way.
We didn't have, could have been like a surprise at the end of the,
I didn't have anything planned.
what's his name?
Are we talking about?
The one we don't talk about.
It's good to be here. Who saw the finale?
Yeah, not me.
Not me.
So I was coming to see you.
Yeah, we were stuck in a car, so we gotta watch it today.
We're stuck in a car, we're stuck in a plane.
Car and a plane.
And then a train.
And then a train. Then the
It
other
was
one.
a train.
What'd y'all think?
Crickets.
22 is awesome.
What'd you think? Huh?
22 was awesome. Guys, it's supernatural. People can come back.
I heard it was a bit of a bloodbath, though. Yeah.
What was the best
That's all I
part
got.
about
What? Cats? Who?
the cast back?
Oh, that shit was settled. Who all died? Let's list them. Cass, Crowley, Rowena.
I can't. If I do another finger.
Who else? Kelly, Catch. Crap. It's like a red wedding. You know, Game of Thrones reference for you guys.
Yes, we know.
You don't know. You don't watch it.
I do know.
How dare you?
All right, before we just jibber jabber about everything.
No, let's talk about it. I want to talk
Jibber-jabber
about it.
everything. No more.
This is my therapy. Don't touch the holes in my knees. You know how hard it was to get that one? I paid for these and I didn't realize they were...
You only saw the back.
I really didn't. Because I know that like this particular jean fits me, and so I just saw some black jeans there, and I just grabbed them and was like, yeah, I'll take these too. And then I put them on, I'm like, well, hello, leg. I guess we're doing that now. Ow.
Is this a tic-tac-toe? I don't get what's going on here.
Why don't you find out? Is it too early?
Don't fall for
Is
that.
it too early for juice?
No!
I love you people. All right.
How are you? You are amazing.
Yeah, you are.
So first of all, I'd like to thank you for your performance in the season final. You're both amazing. As far as I know, there is a possibility of a supernatural movie in the future. So, in theory, what plot and characters would you like to see there?
That's a good question. Would y'all want to see a supernatural movie? I mean, honestly though.
Look, there's one person in the back like, no, I really don't. Because I'll just have to wait for it to come out on Netflix, and that's.
Would you want to do a supernatural movie?
I think I would almost rather want to do a
Shortened season?
like a 6-episode release, but leave it alone. Leave it alone. That's it. It's low-hanging fruit. Just walk away. Yeah, no, a movie'd be great.
I'm not trying to be antagonistic or provocative, but I would almost rather do a shortened TV season than a movie, because I feel like Is he doing something?
I just said that.
I woke up at 3:30, dude. 3.
Ooh.
Yes, I agree. I want to do a short.
So,
What about the plot?
yeah, the plot.
Le plot? Where are you from?
Russia.
I would like to see. In fact, there's an idea that's been floating out there, and now it's probably not going to happen because I'm going to say it out loud. But one of our producers has this idea. I think it'd be an awesome episode where the brothers get tossed into this kind of alternate universe where they wake up in a different place than they're familiar with, and all of the people in the town are old cast members, like old characters. But weird, the trickster is the mayor, and you've got all of them, who was Sebastian runs the local cafe, or brothel, and the whole town is just filled with characters of the past, and it's, I don't know, I think it'd be a really fun episode. Which
it would be a fun, but I think it would be a fun small season. One of the things that I'm a little sad about, I guess, is that there's last night, notwithstanding, or whenever the finale aired, we don't get to do a lot of 2-part episodes, and so sometimes there have been, in my opinion, situations where it would have been really fun to delve into something for 2 episodes, 3, 4, 5, 6, and really kind of get a feel for what's going on, the lay of the land, meet these kooky characters. And so I think in my perfect world, it started out, when Supernatural started 40 years ago or whatever, it was necessary to make it serialized, which if it doesn't translate, just means every episode is kind of different. But then as we've gone on and kind of met new characters and the writing has kind of stayed similar, I feel like it'd be fun to delve into certain towns or certain storylines for a long time. Yeah, and so I think my dream, as opposed to a movie or a 6-episode long release, would be doing we go to a town, something's going on, and instead of figuring out what's going on, finding the bad guy, it's over within an episode, we'll do 6-episode, really short seasons about going to Missouri, going to Austin, going to Montana, going to Roma, going to Russia, and figuring out what's going on. and really kind of delving into it for a long time, and releasing them via.
And this is why we don't write the show.
For me, it sounds awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks. Hi.
If there would be a second part of Changing Cannons, what TV show would you like to see Sam and Dean transferred into?
Jensen?
Let me see if I got that right. What other TV shows would you like to see Sam and Dean thrust into? Well, you know, we've gotten this question before. Some of you have heard a few answers. I think The Walking Dead.
I think she said if there was another episode of Changing Channels, right? Okay,
That's not what I heard.
But what was the word? What was the word you used for changing channels? You might have said it. Just kidding. I think she said if there was another episode of Changing Channels.
What world would we like to be in?
Simpsons. Scooby-Doo, which we're going to do next week. So we actually already recorded it. We actually already, so it's episode 16 of next season. I guess we can talk about it now that we talked about it in New York. Episode 16 of next season. And we already had to do the script and go to a music studio. We went to Bryan Adams' music studio in Vancouver, which is pretty cool. And we did all the dialogue, Jensen and Misha and I, because it now takes them 9 months.
Here's what you guys don't know.
Please don't post that.
What are you talking about? He's just an animated character. That's a figment of Sam and Dean's imagination. There are other characters too that don't exist anymore.
That is very true.
So, boom! You're welcome.
In all fairness, I guess this isn't a lie. That's the only episode we've seen, and it exists by itself. So he could be dead. I hope he's dead because I'm tired. Yeah. So, anyways, when Jensen and Jared and Misha and Ruthie and Mark Shepard and Misha and Samantha
And all of the British Men of Letters.
David and Adam went to go do our recording, we already did it. So that would be a fun world to get take.
And it was cool that Jeffrey Dean came back.
Ruby.
It's a who's who.
It's a cornucopia. But yeah, so I think that would be fun. Thank you.
Moving on. Hi.
Good morning.
What's in
Good
this?
morning. How would you like us to ruin the future of our show?
I actually have a follow-up question about my question from last year.
Jensen?
Yeah, it is actually for Jensen. I don't know if you remember that I challenged you to a rock, paper, scissors duel and you lost.
What? I remember. You did. Came up and you killed me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm offering a rematch.
Bring
For
it.
your honor. and
Let's
for
go.
my pride.
Come on. Come here.
I'm not allowed.
Yeah, you are. Permission granted. All right. Step on up. All right, are we going 2 out of 3? Jared can't count, so let's not. Okay, all right, here we go.
And we're going, it's on, is it 1, 2, shoot? Not 1, 2. Okay. Silencio. I'm going to kick it up a notch. So it's 2 out of 3?
Yes.
Okay. And 1, 2, 3, shoot. One, 2, 3, shoot. Okay. All right. I'm going to keep it interesting. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. And 1, 2, 3, shoot. What's wrong? She totally changed. She was looking at the screen and she was like,
Figures.
nice playing. She's a professional.
Next year, wherever you are,
It's on.
I will find you.
Revenge is sweet.
Hi. So recently I had the pleasure to go to one of creation cons, and Jared said an amazing story about hotel in LA and airport and the makeup. You remember the story? It was amazing. So I was hoping to tell it again for the
Hotel in the
Yeah,
LA.
we were checking late, and there was like makeup included, so there was like confusion of check-in.
Oh no, that was Vancouver.
Oh. Sorry. So what
Yeah.
the story was
So
extremely
before-
funny, so I
Before when we were shooting Wendigo, it was way long ago, and we filmed in Vancouver
Scooby-Doo
until
is a
like 5
make-believe
a.m. and we had to
cartoon.
fly to Los Angeles to do a photo shoot or something at the Langham Ritz in Pasadena, Glendale, something.
You're looking at me. I don't know the story.
So we are like, I think we filmed at like, we were filming in Stanley Park till 4 or 5 a.m. We had a flight at like 7 a.m. We finally wrapped, and he and I are both like, well, we're staying at the Sutton Place Hotel. We're like, we can't go back to our rooms and sleep for 15 minutes because we're going to sleep and not wake up. And so we just go straight to the airport, and the airport is not letting people in yet. They're like, oh, well, we don't check in people until 6 or something. And so we're like, do we sleep on the benches? And they're like, oh, well, there's a Fairmont that's connected to the, I don't know if it's been to like Vancouver Airport. Yeah, there's a Fairmont that's connected to the airport. And so we're like, all right, well, let's go see if we can just like crash there. And so we go in, and we're straight from set, right? So we have like makeup on, and this is in the days of film, not digital. Now with digital, they don't put a lot of makeup on because you don't need it. But back in the days of film, they would put, it's pretty obvious that we're wearing makeup. And so we go up to the front desk, and we're like, we're just going to crash for a little bit. Let's not waste any money and get like a suite. So we're like, hey, we'll just grab a room. Do you do rooms by the hour? Supernatural hasn't aired yet. So they don't know that we're just playing brothers. Like, I don't know if the guy watched Gilmore Girls or Smallville or Dark. Like, I don't think they really knew who we were. So we're like, we just need a room for a couple hours. And the guy's like, it's a Fairmont, which is nice. He's like, we don't do that here. I think we're too tired to really understand that he thinks that we're saying something else. And we're like, all right, well, just I don't know, your smallest room then. And he's like, and he kind of gives us this look like, okay. And we're like, 2 beds. And he kind of gives us a quirky look, we're like, no, we're playing brothers on a show. We just have to sleep because we're going to do some acting. So yeah, that was the gist of it. That was when we kind of realized like this is kind of a funny life we lead, I guess.
I just love the guy at the front desk, and then immediately picked up the phone and was like, "Oh yeah, the guy from Smallville and the guy from Gilmore Girls." just showed up in like quarter drag and got a room together. Okay, TV guide, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Yeah, thanks for reminding all of us of that. That's hi.
Hey, firstly, really impressed with the last episodes, especially Sam's leadership and Dean's emotional honesty in turn 22.
Oh yeah, Dean's crying again.
So, a while back you filmed the fake documentary, and we were...
Which one?
the Misha's, yeah. And you're creating your own characters in it, sort of. So I was wondering where those, characters, where they came from.
His was legit. One of the fun things we can do with Supernatural is kind of take the piss out of ourselves and make fun of kind of Hollywood in general. And he and I both are not really the classic Hollywood types. You know, as soon as we could figure it out, we moved with our families out of Hollywood, out of California in general.
Yeah, don't let the ripped jeans fool you. I mean, stop it.
And so it was kind of fun to make fun of kind of like stereotypes of ourselves, I guess, and keep everybody guessing and kind of on their toes. So I think we would talk about it for a while. Misha had this idea. It was like this kooky idea. We're like, oh, it's never going to happen, but it'd be fun if we had a scene like this. It'd be fun if we had a scene with yoga or a scene where we're working out and someone's carrying a mirror. And so it kind of became just a way to, like, I love satire. I think we both do love satire. And so it was nice. It's always nice. I mean, these experiences are amazing. Meeting people who are also passionate about the show, the message, the characters. But it's nice to kind of remain humble, I guess, and to make fun of yourself as much as you kind of... We're in a very cool position, you know? We get to play pretend for a living and have people tell us that they love the story that we're a part of. And we love the story too, right? So it's like, cool, I love it too, but maybe we're given more credit than we really deserve. So it's nice to kind of... True. So it's nice to kind of to make fun of yourself.
The characters, though, they kind of derived from a lot of the stories that we hear. I mean, being in the industry, we hear stories about what goes on in other sets, or what goes on with other particular actors on movie sets or TV sets and stuff. And some of the antics are pretty outrageous. We often wonder how people get work done when you have personalities like that.
I wonder how we get work done on the show.
Well, we certainly horse around and have way too much fun. But I would much rather be in that camp than in the camp that is everybody's walking on eggshells, everybody's scared of getting yelled at, or there's an on-set personality that's so volatile, it just makes the whole working environment toxic. So we hear about these stories from people, and we kind of used a bit of that to add to those kind of fake characters that we picked up, and it was also kind of complete opposites of who we are. So we tried to expand on that a bit, and it was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi. Okay. I was really impressed about something that you said once, which is found something to always keep fighting. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a person or a book or a TV show. Just found it and keep fighting. So, first of all, I want to tell you that you and women like this are my reasons to always keep fighting. And my question is, what is your reason to always keep fighting, and what is the reason that makes Sam and Dean always keep fighting, besides each other, of course?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy you kept fighting. Happy you're here. It changes, right? It changes day to day sometimes.
Yeah.
And you'll be inspired by a song, or a sunset, or a rainbow, or a piece of art, or a friend that calls you, or a spouse or a child or a parent. So I think one of the things that I'm trying to teach myself, I feel like life sometimes tries to beat me over the head with it, and I'm trying to, some things I learned very quickly, and kind of go like, oh, got it, and it clicks, and I move forward. Some things, I'm very thick-skulled. But one of the things that I'm having a really fun time learning is that life surprises me every day. And something makes me sad every day, something makes me happy every day, and I try to just focus on the latter, and that which makes me happy and inspires me. Days like this, frankly, it's y'all guys. I'll meet people with a smile or with a handshake or something, and I just go like, how pardon my French, how fucking cool. Like, I never, if not for this weird TV show, I'd never met any of you guys, nor this guy, nor the rest of the guys and gals back in the green room. It's like a really cool blessing. And sometimes you get so caught up in your job and your responsibilities that you don't look at it for its face value and go like, I remember being a 13-year-old kid in middle school, like dreaming about being on Home Improvement or something. Like, I could be one of those brothers, you know, going like, I could do that. I love acting. Like, I want to tell these stories. I want to be JTT on the folders of all the little girls, and I have dimples too. Don't. So it's neat that it's every now and again I get so caught up in like, oh, I'm jet lagged, I'm tired, I hope I don't disappoint somebody. Oh, I don't know my lines for today. Oh God, I have to do a scene. Oh, I'm doing a fight scene, but my back is sprained. Then I forget like what cool blessing it is. So just trying to remind myself that every day I can find something new to fight for and be appreciative for is kind of what's exciting me right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know something. There's also a lot of inspiration in our lives. We have beautiful wives. We have amazing children. We have great friends, awesome family, awesome extended family, and there's a lot that you can really be inspired by. You know, when it comes to the day-to-day work of it. Getting up in the morning early to make your set call and to get there, even though you worked all night last night and you're tired and you might be sick, and you know, he and I have been doing this for a pretty long time, as most of you know, and you know, at this point the network and the studio kind of look at us and they're like, you know, we're going to keep going if you want to keep going, kind of a thing. And it's almost gotten to a point where we don't have to do this. And I wake up in the morning, and when I feel like I don't want to do this, or if I feel tired, or if I feel sick, I think to myself, you know what? I don't have to do this. I get to do this. And that's, I think, a sentiment that he and I both share, and we're very fortunate, and we're very humbled by the daily inspiration that we get. So, you know, that's where it comes from. Yeah.
Thank you.
First of all, congratulations on completing 12 seasons.
Thank you.
So my question is just about the process from you get every episode idea and turning that into script, then script to shooting the episode. What are the stages you go through? Is there any hurdles, difficulties? I mean, maybe getting script approved or anything like this, the things you go through in order to get one episode done, which are brilliant episodes.
Thank you. There is quite a process from a conception of an idea to it actually making it on screen. And it starts with the writers in the room pitching ideas to each other and coming up with a kind of a broad idea of where they want to take the story, where they want to take the characters. And then they start to get individual ideas for specific scripts.
And it would be like, I think, like as a pretend example, it'll be like, hey, one of the writers goes, hey, wouldn't it be cool if Sam and Dean went to a haunted asylum and had to save the day? It's like, that is cool. Figure it out. It's like, okay, well, why is it haunted? Okay, maybe it was they were doing human testing.
Right. So then the writer then goes kind of back to his office, his or her office, and they start putting together essentially a breakdown of a general concept of the script and how it's going to go. Then that writer then goes to Andrew, Dab, and Bob Singer, and they give them a pitch of kind of beginning, middle, and end of the script. And thank you. Is that red apples or? I think it's red. Red. Fuji. That's it. What's the kind of the apples that? Honey crisp? Honey milk? Honey crisp? Honey? No. Is it Honey Crisp apples? Oh, so good. This might be that. So once they then pitch to Andrew and Bob, and then they say, okay, yes, we like that, write up the treatment. So then they write up basically an outline of the episode. Then they submit that to the studio and the network. Then they give their approval. Then it goes to script form. So then the writers have to sit down and actually hammer out all the dialogue and all the stage direction and everything that goes into the script. Then
they'll pepper in like the through line. Like if the through line for season 12 was the boys find out about the British Men of Letters. The British Men of Letters ultimately decide that the American hunters need to be nixed. So they'll work in a few scenes. That's why a lot of times there will be an episode that doesn't have a lot to do with the mythology of the season, but then there will be Sam and Dean, like in the Impala, going like, hey, by the way, you talked to Mom yet? You know, and it's like, well, that kind of came from nowhere.
Yeah, so they keep the long storyline. And so then once it gets approved by Studio Network, then they make the production script. And it's still going through kind of moderate rewrites throughout this whole process. Then we up north, is it sour? It might be green apples. Then we get the script up in Vancouver, and it goes into, and then we start breaking it down. Then the production team, you okay? You gonna be all right?
I'm blowing fire right now. I'm a fire-breathing dragon.
I think this is the fermented juice. Anyway, then we get the script, and the production team then assembles, and they have their concept meeting. Okay, we now have a script. How are we going to make this live action? So, and I know this from directing. It's a bit of you're given a puzzle that you essentially have to put together, and you have all of your department heads, from special effects to makeup to visual effects to transpo to picture cars to stunts to art design. All of them are sitting in one room, and we're all going through the script page by page, line by line, and saying, how are we going to do that? And then we all put our minds together, we figure out, we get an idea, get a game plan together of how we're going to do that. This is all happening in 8 days of prep. Then it goes into prepping all that, location scouting, casting, building sets. All of this happens before we ever roll a camera on it. So then we get to shooting it. Then it takes 8 days to shoot that episode. So now we're going to these sets that were just built a week ago. We're driving this car that they rented for the day. We're working with this actor that has never seen the show, and all of a sudden is like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, all right, just stick with us, you'll be fine. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had one guest star who was
She might come back, so we can't mention my name.
That's true.
No, we can't. Nope.
No, we can't. Maybe one day. And so then the actual filming happens. So then once after 8 days of filming is up, then all that footage then goes down back to LA to the editors, and then they spend weeks, several weeks, editing, adding the music, adding all the sound effects, doing additional dialogue, whatever they need to fine tune it. Then they make a master edit. Then they send that to the studio. They send that to the network. That gets approved. Then it gets sent out to the affiliates, and then it goes on air.
Are you bored yet?
And that was as fast as I could make that.
I'm very thankful for everything.
There's a lot of people that work tireless hours to make this show what it is. We just happen to be the two faces that you see the most of. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, they don't get nearly the praise that they deserve, because without them, we would just be two out-of-work actors. So.
Speaking of the preparation, the scripts that come in before you read, you get a script.
Are you German?
No, I'm German, Russian, Italian.
German, Russian, Italian?
Yes,
what
but I've lived in South Africa too, so...
what percentage of each?
Well, mostly German and Indian and Russian, but a little bit
Indian.
And also some Iranian. So, when you read the finale, the last script, when you read the last bit of the last script for this season 12,
it's 12,
well, how many hours did you hold each other and cry?
It's funny you should ask. Thank you for your question, German, Indian, Russian, Italian, South African. It's funny because the last week of filming, I was actually sick. The last week of filming, I don't know what happened. It might have been, we stayed with a buddy of ours, this guy named Misha. He plays Castiel. And
I remember reading the end of when I got to. I remember reading the end, and it literally just burst out into tears. No, of laughter. And I thought, how much fun is season 13 going to be? I mean, talk about cutting the fat.
So, to be honest, really, this is a me, Misha here.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Chair number 3. So Misha has a funny story to tell you guys. We shot, for those who have seen the finale, you can listen. For those who have not, close your ears. We shot the last 3 days of season 12. It was a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, April 26th, 27th. And we shot like halfway to Whistler. And so it was a long drive. So Misha decided to rent a house, like a VRBO house, right? And he's like, hey guys, listen,
So just a preface, this was a moment of poor decision making. This moment that he's about to describe to you.
I'm sure it seemed like a great idea at the time. And so he says like, hey, Jensen, Jared, I know we're filming all day. It was night shooting, so all the stuff that takes place outside of the house, for those who have seen it, it was all Monday, like we started at like 3 a.m. or 3 p.m. Monday, went to 5 a.m. Started at 4 p.m. Tuesday, went to...
It was awful.
It was awful. It was night shooting. And Misha was like, hey, instead of driving back and forth and being exhausted, I rented a house so I didn't have to do the 4-hour drive round trip. if y'all just want to crash there, like it's a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, whatever. And we were like, that'd be cool, man. We haven't seen a whole lot of him this season because he works like 2 episodes a year.
It was a 4-bedroom.
It was a 4-bedroom?
Is what we were told.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we told 5.
That was a little bit of a bait and switch. I was like, guys, I got this huge place. Might as well come stay. And then Jensen went, you got up early. He plays the golf. He went early to throw his bag in. And he's like, how many bedrooms did you say this place had? Because it was 2 bedrooms?
At most.
At most. That's stretching it.
It was 2 bedrooms. One of the...
I ended up sleeping on the floor.
He slept on the floor next to the bed that he slept in. I don't know what happened. I was in the other room.
You were resting after what we'd been through.
I needed it.
So we filmed till like 3 or 4.
How much of this story are we going to tell?
We're telling it all.
We're editing as we go.
We shouldn't tell it.
Not all of it.
I think guys, I think that's it for us.
I think we're done. I think we gotta go. Yeah. And we were so close.
Danielle is telling us we gotta go.
No, that's before the story ends.
So I get upstairs in the morning.
Okay, we'll delay a little bit for y'all. Fuck it. So Misha invites us over. We end up going like, they're thinking it's going to be like a short day, that by short we mean like 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. Like, oh, it's only an 11-hour day, it's going to be brilliant. They'd have to go like 5, and so we go back to Misha's place, and we're like, hey, this is like a send-off for season 12, let's open a bottle of wine, have a few beers, whatever. And so we hung out and had a few drinks and kind of chatted there was like a patio overlooking the Chief, which is this beautiful mountain.
After we realized that there were very little places to sleep in this place, we were then like, well, I guess we should probably just stay up.
So we stayed up and then went to bed.
I do remember at one point being in the other room.
This is the night or the day of?
Being awoke by...
Yeah, it was...
What are they doing in there? Have they brought in animals now? And...
Like I said, I was sick.
Jared was snoring so loud that from down the hall in a closed-door bedroom, it woke me up. And I'm like, how is Misha possibly sleeping in the same room?
Oh, he had been put to the test the night before.
He can sleep through anything.
No, he woke up for...
When you mentioned him.
You're all like, what's true, what's not? I want to believe. No, so... we wake up and it's all like, we filmed too late, we stayed too late. And so, the phone, so Misha has rented this house, VRBO or something, home away. So he puts
it's all under his name.
It's all under his name. So the home phone rings.
Oh, stupid.
So Jared, me, obviously.
I love when he refers to himself in the third person.
I come upstairs to find Jared on the phone after the phone had been ringing.
So this is
the house phone. The phone that belongs to the home. That is not Misha's or us. Or
the house phone rings, and I'm like, hello? And the other guy's like, hey, Virgil. I'm like, this is Virgil. Yeah. Virgil.
The actual owner of the home.
Yeah, I'm sitting with Mark, and Mark wants to cancel his lease a couple months early. It means we'll have to let him off the hook, but we have another lease coming in. We think, I'm like, pull the trigger.
Now I'm like, well, hey,
Okay, no, go ahead and do it. Sign it. This is Virgil. Sign on my behalf. Sign on my behalf. And so the guy's like, cool, man. Well, we'll just send the papers. And Misha's grabbing the phone. Finally, it like flies out of both of our hands.
It's a glass, breaks a glass. There's the sound of me going, no! Glass breaking, me grabbing the phone and hanging it up. And that's how the call ended. So it's, yeah, great, go ahead, sign on my behalf.
Go ahead, sign on my behalf.
No!
That's fantastic. We've got Roy here to witness it. Yep, thanks, Roy. Okay, bye.
I couldn't believe the police didn't show up after that. And then the phone rings again.
No. When was the computer? When was your computer?
The phone rings again.
Oh, yeah.
I run downstairs. Right? I don't know. I lost the sequence. At some point, I did
when was
something.
your computer open?
I left my computer open. I went downstairs. That's when he started tweeting something about.
He jumps up, runs over to the computer, starts tweeting. Then you hear Misha coming sprinting back upstairs as though he just realized that the computer was available.
I ran downstairs to unplug the phone so that like no more incoming calls would come into the house. And as I'm coming back upstairs, I'm like, oh. And I went in a slow motion because, of course, Jared is sitting there on my laptop.
I think I was like retweeting Donald Trump, like, couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
You're the best.
That's right.
She just comes up, and now Misha's like, ugh, okay, I have my phone, I have the house phone, I have my computer.
Meanwhile, it was the best morning cup of coffee entertainment I've ever had. I'm just sitting there at the table like...
And so then it's time to shower. Then it's time to get ready for work. And so, keep in mind, this is like a very nice house. It's been like architecture, and it's very beautiful hand, pretty new. And so the phone is unplugged. Misha has taken back over his Twitter. And so he goes to shower, get ready for work or whatever. And I'm upstairs, and I'm like, I'm going to turn on CNN, like, whatever. And I'm going, it's like it's some unusual Canadian satellite system I'm not used to. So CNN's not the same channel. So I'm like flipping through channels. And it gets to like boys in the shower. Or something. Boys in their butts or something like that. 7. And I was like, huh. And I pushed forward.
That piqued your interest?
Yeah, Misha's on the bill, man.
He picked, and to be specific, he selected subscribe, which was very
assuming in all fairness that the homeowner wouldn't rent his house out to people without putting a block on pay-per-view, but he didn't. He didn't block on pay-per-view, and so he subscribed. Well, Misha, the tenant, subscribed to it was like boys, handsome butts.
It was very,
sex or something.
very, very, very graphic bathroom sex. And I believe you subscribed like to the month, like a forever.
It was an annual subscription.
In all fairness, they were offering a deal at the time.
I spent, by the way,
month, 200.
they left before me for work, and I spent almost 2 hours trying to unsubscribe. Unsuccessfully. I could not unsubscribe because I didn't have the password that he had created.
And on that note, we're out. Thank you, guys.
Am I staying? Okay. This is an awkward transition where you're like me on stage alone, and that means half of the people leave. Where's everybody? Where is everybody going? Seriously. To the bathroom. That's fair. What? Oh, it says what's happening back there. I can see it. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Yeah, that was a pretty traumatic morning for me. It kind of rattled me. And Cliff came over to pick Jared and Jensen up, and the very, very graphic bathroom sex was playing on the screen. And at that point, we were just sitting on the couch like this, watching. And Cliff came in and sat down. And I was like, "Hey guys, we gotta get going." And he sat there for about 2 minutes before realizing what was on the screen. And it was sort of like a. Hi. How is everyone? How many of you have now not seen the finale of this season? Okay. All right. And how many have seen it? Good. Are we avoiding spoilers on this? Okay. Did anyone just say yes? The yeses are getting drowned out by the no's. Yeah, that was an intense end of the season, huh? Yeah, a lot of carnage. Thank you. Great. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes.
Okay. What?
I wanted to know how Cass' idea of home has changed during the years and seasons.
His idea of home? I think Cass has gone from seeing heaven as his home to being homeless. Because I don't think that Cass ever feels at home anywhere, really. I think that he now feels somewhat comfortable with the boys, but he's never in his own element, really. He does see them as the closest thing he has to family, I think. And they say home is where the heart is, so maybe with the boys is as close as it gets for him. But he's still never truly at home, I don't think. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So life has gotten much worse for him over the course of, now actually. Yes. Hi.
Hi. I hope you're enjoying your staying here and you had fun during your trip in Iceland.
I did. Are you Icelandic?
No.
No. Okay. I can tell you this. I tried the shark, the fermented shark. I guess they take a shark, they bury it in the sand for 6 weeks, and the meat kind of rots a little bit, and the urine from the shark's body soaks into the meat and helps preserve it. Oh, it was challenging, really challenging. I thought I'd just pop it. It was like a relatively small piece. I'd just pop it in my mouth to be polite and get it over with, but it was like a little bit too big to just swallow right away. So then I had to chew it for a long time, but it was like really sinewy, and I started sweating. And I was determined not to spit it out. But now I'm getting the chills just thinking about the fact that it went into my body, so that was probably a bad choice.
So I have a question, but first I wanted to tell you just a little thing.
Okay.
You have recently reached 100 episodes on Supernatural, and it's amazing.
Thank you.
So yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
And if someone thinks that Cass is not important for the show, or you are not, I don't really know what show they are watching because you and your character are fundamental for the show.
Thank you.
I wish for you and
Oh my goodness. I feel so strange, like I want to give you a hug about this poor fictitious character. I'm going to do that. Here's what I'm going to say about Castiel's recent unfortunate events on Supernatural. I think that I think I'll be back on Supernatural in season 13. I think we will see Cass again, but the question is what this death does to him. Is I think the one to wonder about. In Supernatural, a character's death can mark a big sort of transition point for them, and I think that I think what we need to wait and see is like how this transforms him. But I do think we'll see a version of him again. There's also this parallel universe in which possibly everyone is alive in a different iteration. So, we never know.
So the question is, I love your
He's like, yeah, that wasn't my question. But thanks for usurping my time at the mic.
I love your family. So what's the favorite thing you like to do with your children?
That's a good question. I really like just following their lead on things and letting them sort of, take charge on something. I like going on little adventures with them, like we'll go into the park for a hike to try to find bugs or something like that, and we'll bring all kinds of tools to find bugs, like big nets and long poles and things that are heavy and completely useless. So I like doing stuff with them like that, and I like when they say the strange things that children say and ask the questions that they ask, because they are little reminders that that the world is full of wonder to new eyes. My daughter just asked, "Hey, can I wear pants when I have a baby?" And Wes said, "No, Mason, because then the baby would just get caught in your pants and get squished." And Mason said, "Oh." And then Wes said, "Hey, how do babies get made anyway?" And Vicky was like, "Well, it's a man and a woman when they can put very special love together, and they do a really." I don't know why she got like 1950s about this, but she said, they do a very special kind of hug, and Wes said, "I think I know what kind of hug that is. It's a naked hug." Anyway. Hi.
I just wanted to know if you listen to Pink Floyd songs, and if you do, what is your favorite song?
I don't know, the Wall. Yeah. What about you?
I like One of These Days and High Hopes. These are my favorite choice.
Mm-hmm. Good choices. Yeah. I have to put. It's been a little bit of time since I've been listening to Pink Floyd. I've got to put it back in circulation. Okay. Thank you for the tip. Hi.
Hi. My question is about what's your future?
Yes.
Specifically about that item,
kindness to donate to help Syrian refugees, and that had quite an impact on myself. So I was wondering, what was the impact on you, and what was your experience?
So, how many of you have done Gishwas? Yes. Those of you who haven't, you should try it at least once. I think you'll love it. You can sign up now. We're doing registration now, and you can either sign up by yourself or you can join a team. We'll put you on a team if you don't have a team. Or you can ask people who just put their hands up, and maybe they'll let you join their team. We did this. We did this item last year. I think it was maybe on Wednesday or something. It was sort of partway through the hunt, and it said, get 10 people, I believe, to donate to this fundraiser to raise money for this Syrian refugee family. We had found this family living in Lebanon. The mother had been shot in the spine and paralyzed, and she'd been stuck in this tent for 2 years, had not been out of the tent in 2 years. And the kids in the family were in really dire circumstances as well. So we put this item in the hunt. And we didn't want to make it so that you had to donate if you were playing Gishwas, but we made it so that you had to find other people to donate. So that was the challenge for this item. And we thought, if we can raise somewhere between $40,000 and $50,000, that will pay for them to get a house, that will pay for them to get the kids in school, and that will pay for the mom to get some medical attention. And that will pay for them for several years. So in the morning we woke up and there was already $60,000, which was like enough to take care of them for 5 years. And so we got on the phone to this amazing photographer named Giles Dooley, who lost 3 limbs to an IED. And so he only has one fully functioning arm, and yet he still travels around the world doing photo documentation of refugees in refugee camps. Just an incredible person. And he had told us about this family because he had done a story about them 2 years before, and he was really, even Angelina Jolie had interviewed him about this family. Like it got a ton of exposure, and yet that family was still living in the same shitty situation. Even though it had gotten press all over the world because he had reported on it, this family had had nothing change for them. And he was feeling really depressed about this because he felt like, what's the point of my work? What's the point of telling these stories if telling the story doesn't change the circumstances of the people that I'm talking about? And so he was overjoyed to find out that we had finally gotten the money to get them into a totally different circumstances. And then he found another family for us. Another family that had a heartbreaking story. The daughter in the family tried to kill herself twice because she wanted there to be enough food for the other kids in the family. And we got enough money for them and another family and another family. And it was just amazing. And it felt so, for me, you asked how I felt about it. It felt incredibly profound. And also extremely exciting because I love the idea of turning doing good into a game so that we can actually have 2 different kinds of joy from the experience. One is the fun of playing a game, and the other is the deep gratification that you get knowing that you've actually materially changed someone's life. So the idea of bringing those 2 things together and having it actually work. I mean, a lot of times I feel like I have this sort of personality that says, yeah, let's try this crazy thing. And sometimes it doesn't work at all. And a lot of times I'm sort of asking people to trust me when they shouldn't. But when something like that happens and it actually works out, it feels really lucky and thrilling. So I felt great about it, to answer your question. And we're now getting the photos from these kids moving into their new apartments that Gishwas and Random Acts facilitated. And the girl, the 12-year-old who tried to kill herself, is now saying that she wants to be a doctor when she grows up, which is amazing. Thank you.
Hiya.
Hi.
I was just going to say you were amazing in the season finale. I was like at the airport trying to keep it together because I was in Holland.
Yeah, I lie very still. Quotes you don't want on the internet. Yes, thank you.
But my question was, I'm going to like Vancouver and the West Coast of America in July, and I was wondering what your favorite things to do and what you would like recommend going to see.
Well, I think you should probably go out to the islands, the San Juans, or the what are the Canadian islands called? Gulf Islands. Thank you. Those are pretty beautiful. It's actually kind of like the most beautiful place in America at that time of year. You can see killer whales. Yeah, we had a Gishwas item a couple of years ago, which was set in the San Juan Islands. You had to take a ferry to another ferry to an island, Lopez Island, where there was this kid, this 19-year-old kid that I had met, who made ice cream sundaes at this restaurant. Alex Guido was his name, and he made these sundaes that were really big, but he was also like really super proud of them, and he was basically challenging anybody who came in and ordered his sundae to actually finish the whole thing. And if they did, he would raise their hand up in the air like they were like a champion. And I just thought this was hilarious. And so I put that as an item in the hunt, like get an Alex Guido sundae and get and have him declare you a victor over the sundae. And then I remember distinctly, he did not have a driver's license. And there were so many people coming to the island, and the ferry was like 7 miles away. And so he borrowed somebody's car and started driving people to and from the ferry. And then he got pulled over by a cop and got a very expensive ticket for driving without a license. And then he got fired. So that worked out great. Sort of like the Syrian refugee story. So not always do things go perfectly. But then I heard later that he wanted to quit anyway. And Gishwas people actually raised money for him to pay for his ticket as well. So it worked out in the end. We helped him transition into a better career. He was too good for that place.
Thank you.
So this season you had a lot of emotional scenes, and they were actually really spectacular. I really loved your acting. So is it easy to leave that back on set? What happened?
I'm having some trouble with this paparazzi down here. Okay, carry on. I'm sorry.
Did you listen to anything?
I didn't listen to anything.
Just that that you had a lot of emotional scenes, and they were really powerful. And if they make us, the fans, feel this heartbroken when we see it, is it easy for you to actually leave it back on set and go back to your life when it has such emotional scenes?
No photos. I think there are times when you feel a little bit of a residual emotional kind of trauma from particularly hard scenes. We have a lot of experience of like just going back and forth, and we feel comfortable in the environment on set, and we can basically create a switch. I don't know. So it's easy sort of to toggle back and forth between being even in a very emotional state and just fucking around on set. But But I have had experiences, and they're definitely good times on. And actually, I should say it's also different for different actors. Like we've had guest stars who come on who get like into an emotional state and they stay there all day, which looks very hard to me. But there are also particular scenes that stand out that just make you feel a little bit more desiccated and raw at the end. Damn. I felt like that in episode 19, I believe it was, when I was like dying on the couch in that barn.
Yeah.
Was that 19?
Episode 12.
Was that 11 or 12?
12.
What was 19?
It was with the power up.
Okay.
With Dayton.
That's right. Oh well.
I know
yeah, that was a little tough, that scene.
For us too.
I'm trying to think of a time when I had a hard time leaving it. I did this movie Carla, where it's an awful, terrible movie. Don't watch it, but that character got into my head in a way that made me a little bit uncomfortable. I thought I might have broken myself. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for asking.
Hi, Andrew. Supernatural changed a lot in all these years, and my question is, which was the episode that, in your opinion, transformed more your character of Cassio? Difficult question.
That is a difficult question. I think that Cass becoming human probably was the biggest transformation for the character in the long term, because I think that gave him. I think before that he just couldn't understand how humans were like they were, and then he had this experience that gave him a lot of empathy toward humans. So I think that was probably the biggest moment for him.
I thought it was the trick at the street club thing. No.
That was transformative as well. If nothing else, to really showcase that he did not have game. That was a good episode for me as an actor. I'll tell you that much. We had this scene. I've told this story before, but we had this scene in the strip club, and Castiel had a beer, and I thought, oh, you know what would be. I guess we're not supposed to talk about that one. So Cass had a beer, and I thought, you know what would be funny? Like, Cass has never had a beer before. He doesn't really know what to do here. So I just kind of chugged the whole pint in one go. And we did one take, and then we did another take. And then we did another take, and I was like, oh, whoa, this is getting hard. Like, I don't know how much more of this I can do. And then we did another take, and I was starting to feel it like right here. And then we did another take, and the director said, oh, Misha, that's hilarious. What you just did with the beer, do that again. Because the camera hadn't fucking been on me. So the first 4 pints of beer that I drank were just to practice. The camera didn't see it at all. I felt really sick. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. No. Okay, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being so lovely. And we will be seeing a lot of you over the next couple of weeks. Bye.